Hey smart home enthusiast, my name's Kyle Wright and I'm your smart home butler. If you want to learn how I installed myself a custom LED strip that is Philips Hue compatible for under $100, then stay tuned to this video. So the great thing about the setup that I did was it was a completely custom installation where I can show off all sorts of different colors above my garage. I can do different presets for different holidays like New Year's, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and really any other holidays that I can think of. I also can support my favorite sports team if they're playing a big game, whether that be the NFL or the NBA, or if I'm into hockey at all. So let's talk a little bit about what you're going to need in order to do this installation yourself. So first off, you're going to need the key component, which is the Geldopto ZigBee LED strip controller. Geldopto was so kind as to send me one of these for us to use for this project, but you can pick one up on Amazon for $30. You're also going to need to buy a power adapter to power the Geldopto ZigBee controller. This is something that you can easily pick up at Amazon for $10. Next, you're going to want to pick up some LED power cable strip. They make it where it's 4 cables. There's RBG, which is the red, green, and the blue lights. And then there's a black cable, which is used for the voltage or the power to the LED strip. I bought about 20 meters of this and got it for about $13 on Amazon. Again, I'm going to be providing links to all the supplies you need in the description below. Next, you're going to pick up some cable to LED strip connectors so that we can connect the LED strip to our power cable that we are going to be running through our attic. You can also pick that up on Amazon for about $10. Next, you're going to want to get a 16-foot waterproof LED tape. I picked one of these up for $12 off of Amazon. You're going to want to make sure that it's waterproof if you are installing this outside. 16 feet is the average length of a 2-car garage. If you have a 1-car garage, then you probably need about 8 feet of LED strip. I personally hot glued my LED strip to the top of my garage. It worked okay. It seems to be working fine, but I would encourage you to pick up some double-sided Gorilla tape. I heard that this will stick a lot better and allow you to secure your LED strip to whatever surface you're trying to install it to. I picked that up for about $10 on Amazon. You're also going to need a 5 and 30-second drill bit that you can pick up off of Amazon for $3 or $4. If you already have one in a drill set, then go ahead and use that. I used a 5 and 30-second drill bit as that was the appropriate size for my installation with the cable that I purchased. Last but not least, I would encourage you to pick up some zip ties so that you can zip tie your ZigBee controller as well as your power adapter to a 2x4 or some sort of surface on the inside of your attic. This will allow it to not overheat or to catch any insulation in your attic on fire. So let's talk about the actual installation process. So how I started was I actually glued or used tape to install my LED strip on the outside awning of my house, right in front of my garage that it beams down on. The next thing you're going to want to do is clip off the existing wiring on the LED strip down to the copper connection. You'll see where it's marked RGB, W, or plus. 3, you're going to want to clamp down the LED to cable connector both to the copper on the LED strip as well as the unstripped end of the LED wiring that you're going to be running through your attic. This wiring you don't want to pre-strip, as the connectors that I'm going to provide in the description below will make that connection with the stripping in place. Fourth, you're going to want to use that drill bit, the 5 and 30 seconds drill bit, to drill a hole in the portion of your house that leads into your attic. This is a pretty easy for me because my house is wood. If you have some other building material, it might be a more creative process. 5, you're going to want to actually run the power cable for the LED strip through the hole from the outside up into your attic, and then get up in your attic and pull that cable all the way through your attic to preferably the entrance of your attic for easy access, where you will have power supply in order to power the ZigBee controller. We're going to be putting the ZigBee controller in the attic because the ZigBee controller is not waterproof. You're definitely going to want to make sure that it is in a dry space. So your 6th step is, once you've pulled the power cable through the attic, is to cut the cable to the desired length. I would highly encourage you to leave some slack on both ends of the power cable in case you ever need to replace the LED strip or the controller. You'll have space to cut off the old existing wire and start over. Your 7th step is you're going to want to take the wiring on the side that you're going to be putting into the ZigBee controller in your attic. You're going to want to strip all 4 of those wires down to the copper so that you can insert those into the controller. Your 8th step is you're going to want to use a flathead screwdriver to press down on the terminals on the ZigBee controller and insert your wiring into each of the corresponding terminals. Once that is done, your 9th step is you're going to want to zip tie the controller to a 2x4 or some other area in your attic where it won't necessarily be touching installation or anything that it could potentially catch on fire. So step number 10 in the installation is you're going to want to plug in the power adapter into your outlet in the attic as well as into the controller. So step number 11 is to add the ZigBee controller to your Philips Hue app. You're going to do this like you would add any light to Philips Hue, just going into settings and setting up your lights that way. Please note that the ZigBee controller does only show up as discoverable for about the first 30 seconds to a minute after being plugged in. So if you're having a problem finding the light, then just unplug the controller for about 10 seconds and plug it back in, and then you should be good to go. Step number 12 is to enjoy your new LED strip and set up all your scenes and whatnot in the Philips Hue app. If you want to learn how to use hex codes with your new LED strip, then check out this video here. If you're wanting to learn more about smart home basics, whether that be networking, voice assistants, different devices to own, or even the protocols and technologies behind the smart home, then you're going to want to check out this playlist below. Hope to see you in the next video.